Have you ever noticed how some people turn their quiet pauses into powerful presence? How their thoughtful silence becomes a form of strength that reshapes the entire room? Today we explore from perceived pauses to proven poise, the validation of tall, thoughtful white trip companions, sequentially savvy, a journey into how calmness becomes clarity, reflection becomes strategy, and presence becomes influence. So if you're ready to unlock the hidden power behind composed thinking and aware companionship, then stay tuned because this episode will shift the way you understand intentional poise. And before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss the insights that elevate your perspective and strengthen your mindset. 1. The quiet power of pauses. Pauses are often mistaken for hesitation, yet they hold incredible strength when used with intention. My tall, thoughtful companions demonstrated that silence can stabilize a moment and deepen understanding. Each pause allowed clarity instead of confusion, grounding decisions in calm reasoning. These pauses created space for reflecting on motivations and consequences. They transformed reactions into thoughtful responses. They demonstrated confidence through control rather than speed. They built trust because they showed presence instead of panic. The pauses revealed emotional intelligence, often overlooked by the untrained eye. They emphasized awareness over impulse. They shaped conversations with steadiness. 2. The rise of composed confidence. Composed confidence emerges not from loudness, but from deliberate presence. My companions showed that true confidence is measured by how you carry yourself when decisions matter. It blossoms in stillness rather than noise. It forms when you choose clarity over chaos. It grows when emotional steadiness replaces reactive tension. It inspires trust because it communicates stability. It gives weight to your words. It influences others without force. It signals strength without aggression. It empowers leadership through calm authority. It expands through self-awareness. It demonstrates resilience under pressure. 3. Validation through awareness. Validation does not come from approval, but from understanding oneself deeply. My companions learned that awareness validates presence more than praise. It reveals strengths that were previously unnoticed. It sharpens perception. It guides thoughtful decisions. It filters distractions. It elevates emotional intelligence. It protects against impulsive mistakes. It builds internal certainty. It reveals what truly matters. It clarifies intentions. It creates alignment between action and understanding. It anchors the mind in purpose. And ultimately, this validation through awareness strengthened their poise and ended the need for external reassurance. 4. The strength hidden in stillness. Stillness is not inactivity. It is intentional control over energy. My companions displayed stillness as a form of grounded influence. It allowed them to observe patterns others missed. It revealed opportunities masked by noise. It provided stability in uncertain situations. It anchored conversations in direction. It slowed chaos into clarity. It turned tension into understanding. It built presence without demanding attention. It cultivated insight by allowing space for reflection. It demonstrated emotional maturity. It strengthened leadership through restraint. It added gravity to every decision. And through stillness, their internal reasoning grew stronger than any external pressure pushing against them. 5. Sequential thinking as a superpower. Sequential thinking is the ability to see steps before taking them. My companions mastered this approach through deliberate pacing. It allowed them to organize thoughts with precision. It turned complexity into manageable segments. It ensured every action had purpose. It created flow instead of confusion. It built predictability in uncertain situations. It reduced cognitive overload. It protected them from impulsive errors. It improved planning through insight. It allowed room for thoughtful adjustments. It prevented emotional overreaction. It increased strategic awareness. And as this sequential thinking strengthened, their poise became not just natural but undeniably effective. 6. The calm that shapes decisions. Calmness is not simply a mood. It is a strategy that transforms decisions. My companions used calmness to break through tense situations with clarity. It allowed them to listen deeply. It kept emotions balanced. It sharpened analysis. It strengthened their sense of direction. It maintained focus under pressure. It prevented unnecessary conflict. It revealed solutions hidden beneath frustration. It established trust among others. It replaced urgency with thoughtful action. It created stability when chaos appeared. It made their reasoning more reliable. And ultimately, this calmness became the defining pillar of their proven poise. 7. Presence that influences outcomes. True presence is felt before it is seen. My companions carried presence through awareness and intention. It allowed them to guide social dynamics effortlessly. It gave them influence without trying to dominate. It made others pay attention naturally. It elevated conversations with meaning. It encouraged thoughtful collaboration. It shaped decisions subtly yet powerfully. It built connections through authenticity. It reduced misunderstandings. It strengthened leadership naturally. It increased social comfort. It communicated understanding. And this presence, developed through thoughtful pauses, became a quiet force that consistently shaped outcomes. 8. Emotional poise under pressure. Pressure reveals the true depth of a person's emotional structure. My companions responded to pressure with poise refined through awareness. It allowed them to manage stress without collapse. It kept their thinking sharp. It prevented panic from taking over. It stabilized group dynamics. It elevated teamwork. It created confidence in others. It made challenges feel manageable. It allowed them to lead through uncertainty. It strengthened their emotional foundation. It created clarity when others were overwhelmed. It guided actions with wisdom. And ultimately, this emotional poise became a refined expression of sequentially savvy thinking. 9. The evolution of thoughtful leadership. Thoughtful leadership emerges when wisdom meets awareness. My companions evolved into leaders by understanding timing, tone, and intention. They learned to guide rather than control. They fostered respect through listening. They built trust through consistency. They elevated conversations with insight. They created direction through clarity. They stabilized conflict through neutrality. They inspired others through calm presence. They refined processes through strategy. They sharpened decision-making through depth. They empowered others through thoughtful support. And through this evolution, their leadership became both subtle and unmistakably strong. 10. From perception to proven reality. What others perceived as hesitation became validated as intentional mastery. My companions transformed these pauses into strategies. They turned silence into strength. They made awareness their anchor. They built influence through poise. They shaped decisions with depth. They led through presence. They refined their emotional responses. They strengthened their thinking through sequential analysis. They earned trust organically. They proved capability through consistency. They elevated group dynamics. They replaced doubt with certainty. And in the end, their journey revealed that perceived pauses were never weakness, they were the foundation of proven poise. As we wrap up from perceived pauses to proven poise, the validation of tall, thoughtful white trip companions, sequentially savvy, remember that the quietest moments often hold the deepest power. And the people who move with intention, awareness, and inner steadiness are the ones who influence the world with precision rather than noise. So if today's exploration helped you understand the strength behind calm composure, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment sharing which point connected with you the most. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement to embrace thoughtful poise.